So today we have the special opportunity to look at the Mughal Empire through the eyes of a woman, and that too a princess. Because when we talk about tales from the Humayun-nama, the Humayun-nama was actually written by a princess called Gulbadan. She was the daughter of the founder of the empire, Babur, and she was Humayun's sister. And I'm going to tell you guys 3 different stories from the Humayun-nama, and I want you guys to tell me which one you liked the best. Okay? If you want more details about Gulbadan or the Humayun-nama, I have them in other videos which you can find in my Mughal series playlist, which I'll link down below in the description box. Hi, my name is Misha and welcome to Tarihi Tales. If you'd like to help support our channel, if you want to help it grow, you can help in a number of different ways. You can become a paid member of our Patreon, or you can become a paid member of this YouTube channel. The link is down in the description box and I'll put one up here as well. Or if you're in Pakistan, you can help out on the numbers provided on screen. Other than that, you can also like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. And as usual, if you want to watch this video in Urdu, we have another channel where the same video is uploaded in Urdu. And all the links for all the sources I've used to give you guys this information, like always, are listed down below in the description box. So you can go there and have a look and read up on it for yourself. So let's get into the stories now. The first story I'm going to be telling you is about Barber's death. Now, Gulbadan was only 8 years old at the time when Babur passed away, so she had very faint memories of Babur himself. But most of the things that she recalls about Babur within the Humayun-nama are things that she's heard from courtiers or other women in the court or other people within the court, and are often quite accurate because she has a number of different sources telling her the same stories. So when she talks about her father's death, she talks about the sacrifice that Babur basically makes for his son Humayun, who's also Gulbadan's brother. Humayun, when he was only 22 years old, fell gravely ill, to the point that people believed that he was gonna die, and this deeply affected Babur. According to Gulbadan's account, Babur circled his son's bed for 4 days, praying to God and imploring him to kind of save his son's health. He also implored God or Allah to basically take Babur's own life in exchange for Humayun's life. The narrative that Gulbadan kind of tells us basically says that all of this came true and his prayers were answered. Humayun started to gain health while Babur died shortly afterwards at the young age of 47. So that was a short account that we find within the Humayun-nama, which Gulbadan gives us for how Babur actually passed away and sacrificed his own life for his son and the next heir to the Mughal throne, Humayun. Now, the second story is actually a little bit more light-hearted. This is the story of Asas and the gold coin. Now, after Babur had basically set up his rule in India and he was basically known for his coinage, he kind of pulled a prank. He ordered to kind of make a really big gold coin. This gold coin was then sent to Kabul, where there were special instructions to kind of play a prank on the court jester, Asas. That was the name of the jester. The court jester had kind of stayed behind in Kabul when Babur had moved to India. So Babur sent instructions that the jester should be blindfolded and the coin should be placed around his neck. Now, when the heavy coin was placed around his neck and he was blindfolded, the jester was very worried as to, okay, what's going on, You don't know what's going to happen to him. But when he realized a few moments later that it's a large gold coin, people say that he kept jumping up and down with happiness, saying that, okay, nobody can take this away from me. So it was like a gift from Babur to him, but this was a specific way in which Babur wanted to give it. He didn't want to just give it to him, he wanted to play a prank and scare him first. So this shows that Babur had a sense of humor. Now, the third story that I'm going to talk about is about Humayun's wedding. So this is quite an interesting one because it's like a royal love story. Now, Gulbadan actually talks about a lot of various events in her writings. She also talks about her other brother Hindal, his marriage ceremony, and about this mystic feast, which was a huge feast, which I might talk about in some of my future videos. Thus, through her eyes, we can see a lot of the ongoings of everyday life within the Mughal court, which is something very, very uncommon. And her writing style is very nice and very raw. It's not made up. Gulbadan also talks about some weird incidences where there is jealousy among the women or the begums of the court to kind of gain the attention of the emperor. When Gulbadan basically talks about Hindal's wedding ceremony, she also narrates a small anecdote where a woman named Bega Begum kind of had an argument with Humayun because Humayun wasn't giving her any attention. And also, Gulbadan talks about how Humayun had actually fallen in love with a woman called Hamida Bano, and he'd offered to marry her. And Hamida actually refused the offer. She hesitated to kind of say yes. And Gulbadan basically tells us that for 40 days, the Begum resisted and discussed and disagreed. At last, Her Highness, my mother, Dildar Begum, advised her, saying, "After all, will you marry someone better than a king? Who is there?" The Begum said, "Oh yes, I shall marry someone, but he shall be a man whose collar my hand can touch, not one whose skirt it does not reach." At last, after 40 days' discussion at midday on Monday, which was September 1541, she agreed to marry Humayun. I found this quite cute. In that day and age, Humayun was basically having this kind of a difficult... Humayun was kind of living through this love story where this girl wasn't agreeing to marry him, even though he's the emperor, But she's like, "No, I want to marry somebody my equal." And he's like, "Please marry me." And his mother is begging her for 40 days, "Just marry my son, he's an emperor." So even in that time, basically mothers played a very crucial role in getting good wives for their sons, like they do now, even now in South Asia. So yeah, those were 3 very small stories from the Humayun-nama, which I found amusing and interesting. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.